Times are hard in the Chadwick household, aren't they?
All goes towards the medical bills, I suppose. It's funny when you make yourself laugh.
Here we go. Episode 17 of Eat My Goal. This is the second episode this week. The last episode 16, was the Portsmouth episode, and now we have what we call the fun episode. We've done the Dow one about Portsmouth because it's all doom and gloom. We're only 8th in the league, but this episode we are going to have some quizzes. We're going to have a game show. We're going to talk about our all-time Premier League 11, and we're going to have a bit of World Cup chat.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Much more upbeat until we get to the World Cup chat, I suppose. But do you want to kick off, Dan? Well, in fact, before we get onto the fun stuff,
upbeatness,
upbeatness of the pod, we've got a new feature this week, haven't we? And it's called Dan's Whinge of the Week.
I've jumped the gun. Right, there you go.
You've jumped the gun with a picture of Martinez.
Yep.
By looks of it, saving a pen, perhaps, is he?
Yeah, I think just a stock footage of Martinez. I think it was actually in the World Cup. Yeah, saving a pen. Right. So my weekly whinge is something that's been grating on me for probably a couple of years now, and I think I've mentioned it to you before, off podcast,
off pod,
and it's just goalies in penalty competitions being bastards, which I really don't like. It's starting to really, I just don't. And he was doing it a lot.
He did it in the Copa America, didn't he? Yes.
Yeah, and I just think, for all our rules and our clamping down on everything in football, I just think this is one of the things that they do actually need to. I don't like to see it. I think it's just ungentlemanly conduct where they're picking the ball up and not giving it to the striker, or throwing it to one side, or mouthing off, chirpy chirp. I don't mind a bit of the chirpy chirpiness because you're going to get that anyway.
Yeah.
But it's all the other bits. It's stuff like that. And, I notice it in kids football now where I've seen kids under 14s where the goalkeeper's trying to put off the player in a match which is already 16-3 or something. And it's just like, what are you doing, mate?
Well, the keeper who conceded 16, you mean?
Yeah. And they're just trying to give it all that to the striker, and it's just like, where are you getting this from? Are you getting it from dicks like this that are doing? And I just don't like to see it. And I just think it's ungentlemanly conduct, and it's a form of cheating because you're trying to put more pressure on the attacker.
Okay. All right.
So go on then. What do you think? Because I've said this to you before, and you were like, "Oh, I quite like all that, though."
Could it not just be classed as a bit of banter, gamesmanship?
If it's a bit of that, if it's little bit of chat where you're both saying things, I don't mind all that. But it's just the slow, just the throwing the ball away and the deliberately walking up to the penalty spot. It's all that business where you stood right in front of the striker. Get back on your fucking line, mate. That's where you got to be. So just get on your line, and the referee should be doing something about it, saying, "Don't stand there in front of the player taking the penalty and chatting. Get back on your line. Then you can say things to each other if you want."
Okay.
But it's just all that.
Yeah, fair dues.
The slowing down of the game, and the.
So it's when it steps over the line from being banter to being complete shithousery.
Yeah, and you're just
that's where the line
everything down. Yeah. And making the attacker wait.
And Martinez is probably the number one at that, I think, isn't he?
Yeah.
I think he's probably the top one. I don't know whether the keeper was doing it, but did you see the Spain Morocco pens the other day, where Spain were obviously shocking at pens, but it was, particular one for me was the Busquets one, because Busquets obviously absolute ledge of a player, very calm. You'd think he could have slot this quite easily, and he looked very confident. Almost looked as if he was having a bit of banter with the keeper, as if saying, "Yeah, whatever, mate." and then took a terrible penalty. So
Mm.
maybe the keeper did get inside the mark. I didn't see the keeper was doing that much wrong,
Yeah.
to be fair. He wasn't
No.
certainly wasn't Martinez in it, but I guess they were having a little stare out or something like that. And Busquets bottled it by all accounts, because it was a particularly weak pen, wasn't it?
Wasn't it? Yeah.
So what I don't get about pens, and I was speaking to somebody about this the other day. Why don't more keepers wait until the pen's been taken before committing? Because how many penalties do you see that are actually right in the corner? And if they are right in the corner, you're probably not going to stop it anyway, are you?
Yeah.
To be fair.
Yeah.
And if you think how many pens just go down the middle now, if you just stay and wait just that little bit, fraction later, dive when you've seen where they're going to commit. And I know the top players will be able to disguise it. You Messi's, people like that will be able to disguise where they're going to put it. But if you just waited, if you think about some of the penalties that, who's the Italian guy who plays for Chelsea? Some of his are pretty woeful, aren't they? But it's because the keeper's already on the ground before he's even taken it.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I think at the opposite end, you could say that if a keeper just stood there and didn't move, he'd look a bit of a knob every time they're putting him in the corners. But also, you think the standard of football now, strikers can just pretty much hit the side netting, or they should be able to hit the side netting with a penalty. So if they haven't already started their dive, by that time they're never going to reach it. But I don't know. It works both ways, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, I think they're unlikely to reach it. But anyway, who knows? They obviously know better than me, because nobody does wait, do they? They all just go for it. Good first whinge of the week, Dan. I like it.
Yeah. Oh, there'll be plenty more.
I'm sure of that. I have no doubt. Now let's go on to something a little bit more positivo. This is the first of our new game shows. I've got a few lined up. This is the first one. We won't play this one again, but we'll see how this goes. And this is called. What is it called? What have I called this? Play Your Price is Right.
Okay.
Right. So what we're doing here is, have you seen these little videos you can get from football stars saying, "Hello, Dan. Oh, how's the Eat My Goal podcast going? I wish you all the best." And you can get it from pretty much anyone now. Pretty much anyone. Yep. But what we're going to do is we're going to have a starting point. You're going to pick a starting point, and I'm going to tell you who that player is.
You're going to tell me it's going to be a cost one, isn't it? I like it.
It is going to be a cost.
Because some of them are crazy, aren't they?
Give me figures.
Yeah.
And from that starting point, where they're going to go higher or lower for the next person. All righty. So your starting point, Dan, you got top, middle, or bottom?
I'll go top then, please.
Top, and you got a number from 1 to 6.
6.
6. Okay, 6 is Chris Sutton. You can either stick with your Chris Sutton, or you can exchange him. What do you want to do? Do you want to stick with your Chris Sutton?
I'm going to exchange Chris Sutton because he's
okay. For which number? 1 to 5.
5.
Oh, okay. You've changed your Chris Sutton for Lorenzo Amoruso.
Oh, Christ.
Former Rangers player, Lorenzo Amoruso. So, the next player down is Glenn Hoddle. Is Glenn Hoddle higher or lower than Lorenzo Amoruso in cost for a message?
He's got to be more, isn't he? Hoddle's got to be more, surely.
Well.
Yeah, go on.
Hoddle. Yeah. So Lorenzo Amoruso is £55 for a message. Glenn Hoddle, £55. Glenn Hoddle, £104. You're right to go higher. Congratulations, you're through to the next round.
Yes.
So next up, it's quite a safe card, 104 to be fair.
Yeah.
Next up,
is it? Okay, thanks.
Matthew Letitia. Is he higher or lower than Glenn Hoddle at £104?
Now I'm sure. Well, I'm sure I've seen his price, and I'm sure he's stupidly priced. So I'm going to go more. I reckon he's more expensive.
Okay, Glenn Hoddle's £104. Matthew Letitia is £24.
24 quid.
I think his recent comments have lowered his price dramatically.
Oh, yeah.
So £24. And he is on Xmas offer as well, Matthew Letitia.
Right.
So you're wrong to go higher. But so your starting point now is Matthew Letitia. Next up, it's a fairly low card, Matthew Letitia, to be fair. So £24. Next up is Peter Beardsley, MBE. Is he higher or lower than Matthew Letitia at £24?
no one could be lower than £24. What's the point in doing it? What's the point in Peter Beardsley doing it with his great big fat tongue for less than £24? Why would you pay? Why would he be doing it? Yeah, no. Oh, mind you, he's a massive racist, isn't he? So he could be doing it for £5 a pop. Yeah, go on. I'm going to say more though. I'll say surely Beardsley's.
Peter
got to be more.
Beardsley is an amazing £70 for a message from.
Just get anyone to do it. Just get anyone that's just been stung by a wasp.
Yeah, stung by a wasp, and then put their head underwater.
Yeah.
And give them a.
Get back here.
Oh dear. Okay, so Peter Beardsley MBE is £70. They didn't take that MBE off him then, though. Okay, next up, this is your penultimate one. Bruce Grobbelaar. Is he higher or lower than Peter Beardsley MBE? Oh, blimey.
Yeah, no, he's lower. He's got to be lower. Bruce.
Peter Beardsley, £70.
Yeah, no, he ain't been around for years, has he? So yeah.
Bruce Grobbelaar is £72.
Oh, interesting.
So Bruce Grobbelaar, slightly higher.
Wow.
And final one is, your friend of mine, everybody's favourite pundit, Andy Townsend. We all love an Andy Townsend.
Yeah.
Andy Townsend, former Scum, various other places, I can't think where, Republic of Ireland International, now Chelsea. Annoying everybody on ITV probably. Is he higher or lower than £72 of Bruce Grobbelaar?
Can I just say as well, but if you close your eyes...
Yeah.
If you close your eyes... Sorry, somebody just let that cat in here. Andy Townsend sounds exactly like Bradley Walsh. But
really?
Carry on. Yeah, sorry. What was the next time he's on TV? Just close your eyes and you hear Bradley Walsh. Sorry, how much? 72.
72, yes.
Yeah, he's higher. He's a pundit. He's on TV.
He's current, isn't he? He's current.
Yeah, he's current.
Yeah.
No, I've changed it lower. You're trying to egg me into saying, yeah, he's current. Yeah, no, lower. He's 56.
Oh, he's 63. He is lower. You are right to go lower. And that concludes an exciting round of The Prices. Play your cards right. I've got it around the wrong way. Play your prices right. We might have another one of those later in the season. Maybe. There's a lot here. There's literally hundreds. You can have anyone.
Play your yellow cards right. That would be a good one. And you could do it as a...
You say nobody would be lower than £24. I'll give you an example of somebody who is lower than £24. Luke Chadwick, £18.
£18, what's the point?
Bear in mind, this is on memo.me. So memo.me are going to take a percentage of that, aren't they? Probably say 30%, I'd imagine. So that leaves Luke Chadwick with what? £15 for his little message. Times are hard in the Chadwick household, aren't they?
All goes towards the medical bills, I suppose. It's funny when you make yourself laugh.
Now, we're not going to start this, but it is kind of linked to Luke Chadwick, actually. Luke Chadwick.
Crack on quick.
Right, so this is only a suggestion if you've got a better idea, but I'm thinking next week we start an all-time Premier League bold team, follically challenged team.
Yeah, okay. We do that.
Luke Chadwick, could he be in the running for that, do you think?
Could be, yeah, towards the end of his career. Yeah. So we've got Barthez in goal, and that's it.
Not necessarily.
Brad Friedel, yeah.
Friedel, you've also got Tim Howard.
Oh, yeah, good one, yeah.
There's a few that you could have. Casey Keller towards the end of his Leicester time. Probably wouldn't get in that team, but, you know.
No, okay, yeah, we'll do that.
Bruce himself, the Grobbelaar, is another contender.
Oh, Christ. Let's stop. There's too many.
Yeah, well, we'll narrow them down next week and we will choose our Fabian Barthez. Okay, so we'll start that next week. Let's go on to the quiz. You're currently leading 6-4. I've got a middling one for you. Some of them are tricky, some of them are not so tricky, and some of them are guessable. So let's see how we go. Who's first up this week?
It's me to you, I think.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah. Right, this is a records-based one again.
And good. I love these.
Yeah, but I think a few of these, when I was looking at them, are sort of questions that you've asked me in the last few weeks. So I fear that I may be
You're testing my short-term memory.
Yeah. Right, here we go.
It's shocking.
Here we go. Right, straight off. No, just random. Just no theme. Right. Which player? Oh, yeah. Right. Ready? Number one. Which player holds the record? Right, ready? Which player holds the record for scoring and missing the most penalties in Premier League history?
Right. Scoring and missing.
Yep. So he was top of the list on both.
Oh no, we haven't had this one before, have we? Scoring and missing. Scoring and missing Premier League penalties. I'm going to say.
I can tell you that he scored. Oh no, let's not. I won't tell you stats.
Oh, go on, give me some numbers. Scored.
Okay. He scored 56.
Yeah.
And he missed 11.
Oh, okay. How about
5 seconds.
Okay.
Bear in mind, this is your easy question. Bear in mind, so
Robbie Fowler. This is the easy one.
Easy-ish. Okay. The answer is when I say it, you'll just go, "Oh, for goodness' sake!" It's Alan Shearer with 56.
Oh, you did say this the other day, didn't you?
And 11 penalties.
You did say yes.
Which he equals the misses with Wayne Rooney.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, question 2. You probably know that Andy Cole, probably. It didn't say probably, but I've just added that in. You probably know that Andy Cole, Alan Shearer, Jermaine Defoe, Dimitar Berbatov, and Sergio Aguero all have scored 5 goals in a single Premier League match. Did you know that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. But what sets apart Defoe's from all the others?
I'll tell you what it is. Is it that his team didn't win?
I can tell you that is complete bollocks.
Oh, I was trying to think when
his team won 9-1, didn't they, against Wigan? Do you remember? Or 9-0? 9-0, I think it was. No, the answer is that he scored all of his in the same half.
Oh,
which is quite mental.
That was my second guess.
Yeah, all in the second half he scored his.
Wow.
That's really quite extraordinary, isn't it? That's almost like one every 9 minutes.
Yeah, it's exactly
right. And now we're coming on to the hard questions. Right, here we go. Sadio Mane has scored in it. This is an interesting stat. Sadio Mane has scored in a record 9 consecutive Premier League matches against which club? And this is as it stands. From 2017-18, he scored in a record 9 consecutive Premier League matches against which current Premier League club?
I'm going to say Leicester City.
Incorrect. It's Crystal Palace.
Okay.
Right.
Good this.
Here we go. Other than Derby in 2007-08, 5 teams have gone through a Premier League season without winning a single away game.
Oh.
How many of those 5 I did put name 3 of the 5. Okay, but I'm going to say let's give me 2. Give me 2 of the 5.
Oh, 2?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Don't worry, because you've got a chance to get a bonus point on the last question.
Okay. West Brom?
So other than Derby, I didn't hear that. Other than Derby in 07-08, 5 teams have gone through a Premier League season without winning a single away game.
Okay.
Name
Burnley?
2 of them. Name 2 of the clubs, okay? So starting from now.
Swindon Town. Hull City.
Hull is 1.
Oh, good. Go to keep naming clubs. And then
give me one more. Give me one more.
Okay, so who else was atrocious? Nottingham Forest.
No. It's Leeds 92-93, Coventry 99-2000, Wolves 03-04, and Norwich 04-05. So
Should call that half. Should call that half point.
We'll call it half. Right, hold on.
Yeah.
Right, so you've got
Right.
nothing so far.
Yeah.
Okay. So for 2 points,
Yep.
how many goalkeepers have scored a Premier League goal?
Oh,
And
Jesus, how
that's
many?
that's for 1
That's for
point,
1 point,
and
yeah.
for an extra 2 points.
Yeah.
So for a maximum 3 points, can you tell me their names?
Oh, got to name all of them. Okay, so
Yeah.
Begovic, Robinson.
Hold on. Skip me.
Oh, Christ.
Begovic, Robinson, yeah.
Schmeichel.
Yeah, 3.
That's Peter.
Yeah. Not the dog from Coronation Street.
I'm struggling now. Did Foster get one? Don't think he did he? He was
So
on
you
the
got
receiving
Begovic.
end.
Yeah, Begovic, Robinson, Schmeichel.
Oh, Friedel.
4. 2 more. One you've already mentioned this evening.
Oh, Tim Howard. Oh, yes, of course. Yeah, I remember his one. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
last one
one
is the most recent. Last one's the most recent. Only happened last season. The season before. No, last season, 2021. Come on. Who do I hate? What team do I don't like?
Was it Allison?
It was Allison. So
Okay.
6. Well done. 6 Premier League goalkeepers have scored a goal. So that's 3 points out of nowhere to get 3 out of 5.
3 points for that. You're just trying to make it interesting.
Yeah. 2 points.
Okay. Then. Okay. Right. I think you'll get some of these. I think you. Well, in fact, I know for a fact you'll get at least one, but you might get more. Who was the first Premier League ever? Who was the first ever Premier League manager to be sacked?
Um.
Current Premier League club. He's not currently a manager at all. I don't think. Bear in mind that would have been 30, nearly 30 years ago.
You don't think? Is he dead? He's not dead then.
Oh no, I don't think so. Well, let me have a look.
Let's see.
Oh no, he
let's go with.
he is past. He has passed.
He's a bit. Let's go with George Graham.
No, it was Ian Porterfield.
Whoa. Yeah. What? And that's a question I'm supposed to get.
No. You might just have known it. But this is one I think you'll be able to guess. Who was Jose Mourinho's?
Does he have to?
Sorry.
No.
Go on.
Sorry. No.
Go on.
No.
Ian Porterfield as well.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Honestly, it's not right.
Who was Jose Mourinho's first signing for Chelsea? You know this.
I've got 2 names in my head, but I doubt whether either of them is correct. I'm going to go with Good Johnston.
If those 2 names had been Paulo and Ferreira, you would have been right. However, it was Paulo Ferreira. Okay. This is a guess one. This is just pure guess. How many times has David Moyes won the prestigious LMA Manager of the Year award? How many times?
LMA? Oh,
the League Managers Association.
How many times has he won Manager of the Year award? He's won it. Well, why would he be winning it more than? Oh, let's just go something. So when Everton got into Europe or something, West Ham 2, and then a couple of just when Everton have done well. Let's go something stupid like 4.
3 is the correct answer. 3.
Yeah.
Okay, you're still in with a chance because these 2 are still very gettable. Who was the first Italian manager to win the Premier League?
Was it Ranieri?
In 2016?
Yeah.
Do you want a second guess?
Well, I was thinking someone Chelsea related, but is that am I on the right lines?
Couldn't possibly say.
No, but I was thinking that I can't think. Viali? No.
No. You sure? Carlo? Ancelotti.
Oh yeah.
Ancelotti. If I'd have done these questions the other way around, you might have well, maybe not. I don't know. I've kind of given away the answer to the next one now. Which manager was in charge at Manchester City when they won their first Premier League title?
Oh, I know that one.
I've given you a clue as nationality there.
That's oh no. Now I'm getting now you're just being silly, aren't you? Because no, it is Mancini, isn't it?
Yes, it is Mancini. Yeah.
I just started to think of that big one that looks like a Scooby-Doo villain. Yeah. Who's that? Pellegrini. Yeah.
Sam Pellegrini.
Yeah.
It was me all along.
So what are we calling
Ancelotti.
that then? If I got one,
I think we call it a draw, aren't we? We were both equally terrible. It's got to be a draw, isn't it? Oh, yeah. What you thought you won?
Okay.
Did you?
Yeah. No, right. Yeah. We'll call it a draw.
That's fine. Other than the Mancini.
Okay. Yeah. Well, at least I got one.
I got 6 goalkeepers.
Yeah. Okay. We'll definitely call it a draw. Yeah. They were. They were shit questions, those, Mike.
Sorry about that. Okay. Should we do a quiz on something else next week?
Yeah.
Other than football. Right, okay. Let's talk about the World Cup. So, did you enjoy the England game the other night? Well, I literally felt sick all the way through it.
Do you know what? I was waiting for you to ask me about this because I actually haven't spoken to anyone about it. And I didn't even watch it.
Really?
And I still haven't watched it because I can't bring myself to do it. And do you know what? I watched the first up to the goal, up to the France goal.
Yeah.
I saw it hit the back of the net and I said, I'm not watching this. I can't do it. And I went and just sat upstairs and put my earplugs in and just sat on my phone, just doing something else, doing other things till the end. Well, no, because I said to my son, I said, don't tell me anything. I said, even if England score, I said, don't tell me anything. I don't want to know. And then I just saw at the end the score. And then I found out the next day that Kane had missed a penalty.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know about that. And I just can't. I haven't watched it on the news. I haven't read any reports about it. I haven't done anything because I'm just too disappointed. And do you know why I'm so disappointed?
Go on.
Because it was just there, wasn't it? It was just there because I don't care what you say about, oh, Morocco, yeah, but they must be good because they're in the semi-finals. We would have beat Morocco easily. They're the sort of teams we beat. They're the sort of teams England beat comfortably, and that would have been just the most comfortable semi-final.
And then potentially Croatia or Argentina.
Yeah.
But both of which we would have had ghosts to lay to rest.
And
which would have been perfect.
So I just think it just upsets me that much. I just think we were so close to at least just getting to the final because we would have easily won the semi. And just that first 10 minutes of watching the game. See, I don't even know how England played. I don't even know. All I've seen is people moaning about the referee. That's all I've seen. So I don't even know whether England played well.
Well, so you saw it up until the goal. So do you feel the goal should have 10 minutes allowed?
Well, that's the thing I didn't even see. I saw there was a foul, and I saw was it on Saka?
Yeah.
So I saw him go down, and then I saw them say play out, and I think remember the commentator said, "Oh, that could have been a foul or something," and then they scored. But I didn't even watch the replay, so I didn't even know whether it was a foul.
Oh, okay.
But I just the first 10 minutes, we were okay, but it was just we were letting Griezmann just dictate it.
Yeah.
And I just thought he's not even that good a player, and I just couldn't understand why someone like him is dictating the play, and just because they're so confident, and that's what it is. It's just all about confidence and just him wanting the ball. And it's just be confident, boys. But that's why I can watch it. So yeah, you can tell me all about it now.
Well, here's the thing. What have you said all along through the whole tournament about starting slow? And when we play against a good team, they're going to punish us for it. And that's exactly what they did. I think we started slow. I think after the goal, we were actually okay until half time. We looked decent. Not brilliant, but we looked decent. But second half started straight out of the blocks. We were definitely the better side straight from the second half. Saka, who had a quiet first half, was, I thought, excellent second half. clearly a penalty. Obviously, we should have had a penalty first half as well, actually. I don't know if you've seen anything on that, but Kane, not even slightly tripped. He was clearly tripped by Upamecano, who had an absolute mare of a game, I thought. Kane basically turned him. He stuck his legs through Kane's legs, tripped him up. Referee waved play on, went to VAR. Nothing wrong there, apparently. And it even went to Peter Walton, who in the studio. And Peter Walton said, the only question for me is whether or not it's inside the box. But for me, it is on the line, so therefore it's in the box. He said it's a definite foul. And it's like, well, how are they not seeing this?
Oh, this is
it
why.
wasn't clear.
This is why I couldn't do it. This is why I couldn't watch it.
It was frustrating. So we should have been 1-1 at half time. But second half, we were much, much better. Saka won the penalty. Obviously, Kane put it away. We had a couple of okay chances, but we then let France back into it. And France literally had a 5 to maximum 10-minute period where they were the better team. And you could see they were going to score. They had one which Pickford made a great save from Beardy, what's his name? Giroud. When basically the England defence had gone missing, but then literally within 2 or 3 minutes, almost identical, but it was kind of from the other side. And this time it was a header, and there was no stopping it. Really, it was. So Giroud scored, but then we had the next penalty awarded. The thing I don't get is this is what frustrates me about Southgate, and I can understand why people are criticising him, because Saka was, I think, one of our best players second half. He took him off, brought on Sterling. Now, if you're going to take off Saka, don't bring on Sterling. Sterling's just flown back to the UK and back. He hasn't trained all week. So if you're going to bring somebody on that stage, you bring on Grealish or you bring on Rashford.
Yeah.
One of those two, right? So you don't bring on Sterling at that stage. Sterling did nothing. Sterling was basically didn't look himself, didn't manage to get into the game. And I think from the moment we took Saka off, we lost our threat to a degree. You then put on Mount, who, not being funny, isn't the sort of person I want bringing into the team when he's chasing the game. You brought him on for Henderson, so I suppose he's a midfielder of that sort. But even then, I don't know. He won the penalty, which Kane then managed to put outside the stadium pretty much. It was a pretty horrendous penalty. So un-Kane-like the penalty was.
Yeah.
It was you'd think, because when they, as soon as the referee went to watch it, because how he didn't give it in the first place, it was a blatant penalty. Basically, the defender, what he was playing at, because it was just a long, hopeful ball forward to Mount. Mount's running across the area, and the player just knocked him to the ground. Referee gave nothing, which he'd pretty much done all night. Went to VAR. VAR said, go and have a look at it. As soon as they go and look at it, it's going to be a pen. So at that point, I took the opportunity to go and have a quick wee whilst they were setting up. Came back, and it was just one of those things that it was a terrible miss. It really was terrible, but what can you do? It's one of those things, isn't it? It's But see, another thing on that is Eni Aluko after the game. I don't get this. I'm not a big fan of her punditry as it is, but she said, "Why is Kane taking that second penalty? It's against his club mate. Surely, it's obvious he's going to struggle with that." It's like, why is it? He's just scored one. He's scored one already.
And this is
every week.
Yeah. As much as I'm not a fan of Kane, he's the one you want taking a penalty, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Because, 6 minutes to go. Yeah, but it's just typical sort of. I thought from the moment we had that situation where France took the lead in contentious circumstances, where I thought Saka was fouled, but you can see why it wouldn't have been overturned really, because it apparently was reviewed. It was in my mind as a foul, but it wasn't a clear and obvious error, I suppose.
Yeah,
you could say he went down easily, but I thought from that moment onwards, I thought, here we go, here's our hard luck story. And then the penalty, I thought, here's the continuation of our hard luck story.
Yeah.
And from that moment, I thought, and to be fair, I wasn't, once it finished, I wasn't devastated. I was just kind of like, well, I could see that happening.
Yeah.
I was kind of nervous through the whole game. And then once it finished, it was like, well, it was just, you could see it was going to happen. And like you say, it's kind of all the way through us thinking, well, this is the real opportunity where we could do it this year, couldn't we? We could do it.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. It's just so frustrating that, it's our best chance. It's just our best chance. You've lost Spain, you've lost Portugal, you've lost Brazil. It's quite similar to the last World Cup, wasn't it? When
the draw kind of went in our favour.
The draw went in our favour. Croatia ended up we ended up playing Croatia in the semi-final, and that was like the better of the two, the better of the other 3 teams left in there. But then it's like, I just thought, you looked at that France team as well. No Pogba, no Kante, no Benzema. Not
even their left
full
backs were a second choice.
Yeah, not at full strength at all. And I just thought, oh, this is just such a good chance. And just the fact it would have been Morocco in the semi-finals as well. It's just.
But on the whole, Southgate, I know a lot of people are saying Southgate out, Southgate in, but what I don't get about his changes. So, as I say, Saka for me was the best player in the second half. He got fouled for the first penalty, clearly fouled as well. Their defenders, Upamecano and Hernandez, the left back, both on the left side, were struggling big time. They were struggling with his pace. They were just swinging and missing at him. And they were there for the taking, I thought. And I just thought, if you're going to bring him off, who's the player you want running at defenders who gets fouled all the time? Surely you want to bring Grealish on. You want Grealish on there. He's going to commit them. Even I didn't think Varane looked that solid, to be fair. So when we were at them, they were shaky. And that's what I mean. Is I would have brought Grealish on, or maybe even Rashford, but less so like Rashford, more so probably Grealish. Even, I don't know. It's just bizarre.
And Sterling's not even had it. Sterling, maybe last, in the Euros and the last World Cup. Yes, I would say, bring him on definitely. But he hasn't had a good season. He hasn't been good since he's left Man City.
No. So he's just had an emotional situation and travelled several thousand miles back to and from, not trained. Just a bizarre loyalty to a player that isn't going to change the game for you. That's why I just think. But so I don't know. Bellingham again was amazing. He's clearly the future of English football, isn't he? I think.
But that's the thing. That's what I keep reading is that one of the positives is we got Saka. He's only 20 something. Bellingham, he's 19. So and so he's this. So and so he's that. Yeah, but you said all this. They were saying all this at the last World Cup when we got knocked out, and they were saying this at the Euros last season, last year. Or whenever it was when we got knocked out, and it's just like, but we're going to be saying this again, aren't we, in a couple of years' time? And I just really wanted to just get to the final at least, and then it's just such a shame, just such a good opportunity, but
wasted.
And then you can start picking holes and saying, oh well, when we play the top teams, we don't win. Because I've seen a few of that on social media as well. But that's just always been the case, isn't it? Maybe when they do get a few more tournaments under their belt and get a bit older and they are in their late 20s, their peak, maybe we will be the team that goes on.
I think the Euros would be a good tournament for us. I think the Euros should be right because Kane will still be there. And those other players that you've just mentioned will be 18 months older. So maybe. I do think personally, I don't know if you saw Southgate's interview afterwards, but he did hint that that's probably his last.
I saw some things about that today, actually, just that he's considering.
He said,
and
he needs to think about it.
I would be half and half. I think if he left, I think I'd be quite disappointed because I think he has done so much for the.
Yeah, I agree. I think he has done loads, but I think if we want to go to the next level, it's a little bit like going back to if you look at Man City when they had Pellegrini, whatever his name, Pellegrini, and they were winning things. Ultimately, you still had a step up in Guardiola. You knew it was going to be a step up, and you want the best of the best. And I think if you want to be the best of the best, you've got to have the best. And if you looked at if Southgate left, would any Premier League club be going, we really want him as our manager? I can't see that anyone would they?
No.
Really? Maybe not, a mid-table team, maybe someone like a Palace, because he's an ex-Palace player. But other than that, I can't see him being sought after anywhere. So I think that says, and I agree, I think he has done a great job from a culture point of view and from bringing the young players through. I just think you now need somebody who can take them to a level, just a level above.
For who?
Well, the only English manager is Eddie Howe, isn't it? But is he proven enough? I don't know. He's doing a decent job at Newcastle. Tuchel's available, but do you want a German in charge? Can't see that going down with the Neanderthals, could you?
No.
As soon as you lose one game, especially if you lost to Germany, Tuchel lost to his mates, didn't he? So it's difficult. There's not many.
No.
Tite is no longer available.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, no longer Brazil manager. Sorry.
No.
But no, I don't know. It's difficult, but I would rather Howe than
Enrique Iglesias, whatever he's called.
Enrique Iglesias. Yeah, he's
what's he called?
He could be our hero, couldn't he?
Luis Enrique.
Luis Enrique.
Yeah. He's gone, hasn't he?
Yes. Yeah. But again, I can't see him. Can you see him? No. I'd like it to be an Englishman, but there's not many available. There's not many. Well, there's not many suitable, should we say? Anywho, I was going to talk about Portugal and Brazil, but you know what? Can't be asked.
Too bummed out.
Too bummed out.
Yeah.
Too bummed out. So that's the end of this week, I think. I think that concludes this week. England are out. Portsmouth are still going strong in the EFL. Not so strong in the league. But we'll have a similar one next week. That was episode 17. You can get in contact with the podcast. I didn't do this at the end of the last one, but so I best do it on this one, really. eatmygoal22@gmail.com, on Twitter @eatmygoal22. We did have somebody contact us through YouTube, and it's a genuine one. A guy called Pete Malloy. He put Cowley out.
Oh, Pete Malloy. Did he really on YouTube? Fuck me. He's the one that I keep blocking.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah. Fucking hell. What a mental case that bloke is. Jesus Christ.
Oh, he's stalking you, isn't he? He is stalking you. No, he did. Oh man, he's obsessed, isn't he?
Pete Trolloy. I think we should
Trolloy.
call him.
Yeah. Well, I thought we had a genuine
yeah, I knew I recognised the name.
He's just your stalker. He's just your stalker. Anyway, that does conclude. We'll have two similar ones next week. It has been fun.
Yep.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.